All right, here we are, week 4, third of the way through the prep football season already, James, and the Lake Michigan Conference has a couple of matchups we have our eyes on this week, and one of them features a team that went 0-9 last year in the conference, but they're 3-0 right now. Is East Jordan legit? Are we going to see them put up a good game against Kalkaska?
I think you should see a pretty decent game. I mean, East Jordan's 3-0 so far. They've answered every question that's been asked for them the first 3 weeks. We'll see if they can continue to do it.
And in the Northwest Conference, we have two teams not looking like the favorites for the conference, but definitely winner, you're still in contention. Loser, you're probably going to have a lot to go through to try and get back in the conference title race. That would be 2-1 Frankfort hosting 2-1 Kingsley. Stags and Panthers, what do you expect there?
Well, I mean, Kingsley had a pretty impressive win over McBain in their first week of the season. They're both 2-1. You know, Frankfurt's dealing with some things, but they're 2-1. They've beaten the teams that they should, which is what you got to do if you're a winning team. So, you know, I think this should be a pretty solid matchup between those two.
And let's real quick reference the Ski Valley because everybody knows they're a scrappy little bunch of teams. And Central Lake and Mansalona meeting up in Mansalona this Friday night. And that one could be kind of interesting as far as an early predictor for an early forecast for the Ski Valley South.
And you've also got the battle for the M88 trophy that they have now between those two schools. I think Mansalona's won that for 3 years in a row. So anytime you get a trophy game, there's always a little bit more incentive there.
And real quick, for our web viewers who may be joining us here, we want to talk about a huge doubleheader on Saturday. You're used to the preps. We were talking about how the college football schedule is pretty depressing on Saturday. Well, I guess if you're in Traverse City or near that area, you might want to check out the preps in action in a doubleheader.
Yeah, I mean, you've got West against Petoskey. They're two of the probably 4 or 5 teams that are the top teams and the top big schools around here going head-to-head, and that'll play a pretty big portion of who can step up in the Big North. I mean, West hasn't lost yet in the Big North, and we'll see if Petoskey can deal with how big West is or not. But that's the 1 o'clock game, and then you get a little bit of break in between to catch some.
Time to watch Michigan State, Notre Dame.
To catch some unranked teams, play some ranked teams in college football.
That's what it's all about.
And then you come back at 7 o'clock, and you've got St. Francis Grayling, which I mean could be a shootout.
Oh yeah, they always give good matchups. Even though Grayling, I believe, won for the first time in that series for the first time in 10+ years or almost 10 years last year at their place. Now they're playing at Thirlby, and of course they're former conference rivals, so it's always an exciting one there.
Yeah, and Grayling's always got a good offense. You know, they throw the ball a lot. St. Francis has got an excellent defense. Their offense came around a little bit last week, so that should be another pretty good high-powered game.
A lot of good stuff happening Friday and Saturday this week, week 4 of prep football.